What's up, brother? We are live. Welcome back to the Cincy Stripe Show
Yes,
with
sir.
Colton and Gary next to me. We are ready to go. Colton's currently doing his mock draft. I'm currently doing my mock draft. Gary apparently had all day to make a couple of them.
All day.
All day.
Got up at 2, so I had to put that work in.
I had to put that work in.
But no, it's kind of, I don't know how you guys are. Maybe I just found a glitch in PFF to be able to make multiple mocks, but
Yeah, it won't only let me do one.
Yes, man. No one let me do one. I'm like, what the heck?
I don't know. But when you start playing around with like mocks, it's kind of fun because obviously there's holes that the Bengals need to fill, but kind of makes you realize like when you're in that seat of like the GM, if you want to call it that, more of just average
Bengals don't have a GM.
Average Joe, playing around, but you start thinking like, okay, this guy's really good, but should we take him over this guy or over this guy? That's why I like that Colton made us, kind of do 3 to kind of give you a different perspective on different positions we need. I don't know. You want me to go ahead and talk about one of mine?
Yeah, you can go ahead. We'll start with it.
So a little different one that I did today. I went Quinion Mitchell first round. Obviously, everybody watching this knows who he is. Corner. Gonna be elite.
He'll probably go before that, but if he's there,
yeah,
it's
I
hard
think he
to
will
pass
too.
on
But
him.
when he's there, it's like kind of makes it tough because obviously you want to go D tackle or tackle. A lot of like the projections are headed in that direction. But second round, I got Braden Fisk, Florida State. Going to be a stud. Obviously, I don't think he's in that same caliber as like Newton or Murphy, but still going to be a very good player. Then I went with Johnny Wilson, another Seminole who
He's a big guy.
Yeah, had a really good season. Obviously, if you're a Florida State fan, sorry you didn't make that playoff, but there's always next year.
It's always next year.
And then with the first round pick, I went Cedric Van Prawn, interior guy. I think the line is really, really solidified this year, but I would say the only starter that's probably questionable if they were to have to compete would be Volson. I definitely think they bring in somebody to compete for him, even if it's not like a day one starter, but I think they're going to bring in some competition for him.
For sure. In mine, I just lost it.
You just did it.
Yeah, no.
I got 1,000 tabs open over here.
Rookie.
So in mine, I took Byron Murphy at 18. I think Johnny Newton was taken like right before. So I think we need to take so I've been on this where I've done a couple where when I take the offensive tackle available, there's like little to no like interior defensive linemen that are maybe worth it in the later rounds. So I've been kind of taking different approaches. Obviously, mocks, like we said, aren't going to be like exactly what happens, obviously, or these guys may not even fall as far, or they might fall further. But I took Byron Murphy. In the second round, I took Patrick Paul, tackle from Houston.
I think he's going to be a stud.
And then I took Braden Fisk, just like you. I double dipped on D tackle. And then Blake Corum was there at 97, which I probably doubt he's there, but you never know. If he's there, he's kind of
a running backs are weird in the draft. Like it seems like when one goes, they kind of like go like hot potatoes, but the value of you're seeing around the league, like obviously like Super Bowl champions, like the payroll of running backs are very low. So I think like guys are seeing value in other positions to where they can get a stud running back later in the draft. But if Corum's there at 97, I'm all for taking him.
Yeah, for sure.
The mock draft I just did on Pro Football Network, I got Johnny Newton at 18. Double dipped at defensive tackle a little bit because I like Rook Ororo.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to say his name.
We just watched this highlight.
Ororo.
Yeah, it's easy once you learn it, but like when you're imagine that on a jersey.
Go hard.
It would go hard.
Goodell is probably gonna muff it.
I'm gonna be honest. My mock draft sucks because of the player availability that was in it. I don't like Pro Football Network. I like PFF a little bit better, but that pick 80, I got Chris Abrams-Drain, corner from Missouri. I do like him. And then with pick 97, offensive tackle Blake Fisher from Notre Dame. He was the best tackle available. Again, I don't like Pro Football Network because I feel like their player availability is so weird on these mocks.
Any lineman from Notre Dame, Michigan, like those schools, like I don't think it matters where they go. Like those guys usually come out and are at least like, very capable players pretty much right away. Like I feel like they breed linemen.
I think he's starting to shoot up a lot of boards as well. So it's just like you never know where they're going to go. Like when the draft, like we talked about.
Dude, anything can happen. I mean, there could be a story leak the draft night. I mean, look at Tunsil. Stuff can come out to where, maybe you didn't fully share some medical history, or you interviewed really bad in your top 30 meetings, or,
For sure.
this or that. So it's one of those. That's why mock drafts are so fun, because we could literally do 1,000 mock drafts and they will draft nobody that we drafted.
Yeah.
It's just more fun for the fans, I think. But sitting here on April 3rd, it's like I have no idea what the Bengals are going to go at 18.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a question mark just because, there's Latham, defensive tackle, even
Mary's
wide receiver's been thrown up at pick 18 a couple of times.
It all depends on what happens with T. Obviously, I didn't want to be the one to bring it up, but old Stephon Diggs now in Houston.
That's why when I saw that, I was like, what?
It's kind of says something to me, though. Like, they traded him and they're paying 30 mil of his dead cap.
Dead cap, yeah.
Like, that tells me that obviously, like, they wanted him gone.
It was also weird because the beef with last night or whatever that
drama you sure about that?
Yeah, I don't even know what that was about, but it seemed like they saw that, or obviously they probably didn't, wasn't just that, but just with that happening just last night, kind of late last night, and then it was around noonish, 1-ish today when
I don't really understand. I get frustration as a receiver if you're not getting the ball, but there were multiple big play opportunities last year for Diggs, and he just didn't make the play. The greatest throw I've probably ever seen in a live football game from Josh Allen last year.
What's that?
In the playoffs,
bomb.
And he dropped it. No, I think Diggs is still, I would say probably somewhere in the top 12 receiver, maybe top 15. I don't think he's top 5 anymore. You can flame me if you want, but when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, who obviously is turnover prone because he plays Superman a lot, I think he wears a lot of the negativity from the Buffalo Bills offensive turmoil. But when you actually watch games and watch and see the in and outs of every play, Diggs takes plays off.
Mm-hmm.
He might drop a pass here and there. He's still extremely talented and gonna probably ball in Houston, but I don't really understand the complaints as much when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen. There's probably only 3 or 4 quarterbacks that you could argue are better than him right now. Now he went to one that's right on the same level.
Yeah, my top 3 is Burrow's. It's Mahomes, Burrow, Allen are my top 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah. Stroud's right there. It's just hard. You got to do it multiple years.
Yeah.
He could have just been a 1-year wonder. I don't think he is, but
no. Stroud's a hard worker and he's really talented. Honestly, I think that our biggest threat next year in the playoffs would be the Texans.
They made every move right.
Just because they smoked us this year.
What did they end up getting?
I wouldn't say smoke, but yardage wise,
they got a 2nd round pick and a 5th. Right?
It was something for next year, wasn't it? It was I think it was a pick for next year and a 2nd this year.
A very good trade for the Texans. You're basically essentially giving up a 2nd and another. I don't think it was higher than a 3rd next year, was it?
No.
So you're giving up a 2nd. You're not going to draft a receiver better than Diggs in the 2nd round. No. So, hats off to them. I really like D'Amico Ryans. He's done a great job there already. Coming off a incredible season that I honestly had no thoughts that they were going to do what they did last year, and they've gotten insanely better. And they have picks this year. They're gonna.
Yeah, that's. I saw Mixon tweeted, and he said it's not even draft day yet, and I was like,
yeah.
It's weird seeing Mixon tweet about the Texans and stuff like that. Obviously that's his team, so he's going to. But
now it really makes me point my conversation to the Bills because what are they doing?
Yeah, the full rebuild.
What are they doing? They let go. They obviously had to because of the cap, but then you eat 30 mil of dead cap.
Yeah, it's just tough. I don't even know what because they're already in cap or I don't know about anymore, but they were in a lot of cap not dead cap, but a lot of cap trouble. And then you go ahead and if you're just going to pay the 30 mil dead space, you might as well just keep them.
My only guess would be he was that bad in the locker room. There had to have been some beef between him and Josh, or him and ownership, or him and the coach, or maybe all 3. But yeah, it's this offseason's already been crazy, so many new faces. But it's wild to me too that they sent him to the Texans, who are definitely going to be a playoff contender.
In the same division, not division,
same conference. That's what I mean. A playoff contending team that you're gonna have to see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's just always weird to me. But hey, shout out Texans. They making the moves.
Maybe the Dolphins will finally win that division.
I don't know about that.
You still think the Bills could?
I think
anytime you got Josh
if
Allen.
Rodgers stays healthy, the Jets will win it.
I mean, you have to think the Bills go wide receiver at
Receiver.
28, right?
Have to. I mean,
Like Keon Coleman, Troy Franklin.
I think if I'm the Bills, I try to trade up, but I don't really know if they have like the capital to do that.
Yeah, but trade up for a receiver.
I mean, depending. I mean, it's a
Like,
deep,
it's
a deep class.
You might as well keep your pick. Is my thing.
At 28 though, you're looking at probably like Mitchell or Worthy or somebody like that who are still going to be game changers. But if you try to move up into the top like 18, you're going to be able to get like a Coleman or a Brian Thomas or like true number one right away. Not saying that Worthy and Mitchell won't be, but I think those are like
I think Brian Thomas would be a good fit for him.
Yeah, I mean Troy Franklin, even like guys like that, you're gonna have to move up a little bit. I think.
I feel like Troy Franklin's projected like second round. I mean, obviously projections, but like.
Yeah, but I think once those receivers start jumping up the board,
people are gonna start reaching a little bit. Maybe not reach, but
I could see Troy Franklin going to 28 though. I think that'd be a good fit.
Yeah, it's just their defense. Like they cut a lot of their veterans for their defense to start the offseason. So it's like they have a lot of holes to fill because they haven't really brought many names in, have they? Like
No, not really. They've
even
cut.
know.
Well, they got Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, so it's Curtis Samuel, like Shakir.
He's their number one right now.
Yeah, he is.
They got KJ Hamler, I believe. So it's like
that's
your
your
right
three
now.
receivers right now. I mean,
Curtis Samuel wasn't bad, but as a number one,
that's what I'm saying. Like if you want to go get a bona fide number one, like I don't think anybody in this draft, obviously Marvin Harrison Jr., but he's going top 5. Malik Neighbors is Rome. They're not gonna be able to move that high up. But if you're gonna want to go get a guy who can be 1,000 yards receiver year one, you're gonna have to move up.
No, for sure. But I think their thinking is trying to take the Chiefs approach, like.
Yeah, but they don't have the defense.
Yeah, that's what my thinking is, and it's like
even though really the Chiefs defense is going to be a lot different too, though.
I'm about to look up the Bills move so far.
A lot of teams that were like fringe playoff teams to like decently good playoff teams have made really really good moves. Like it's kind of going to be a wild year. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that you weren't really expecting to be as good as they are good, and teams that have been good the last 5-6 years aren't going to be as good.
I just trying to drive it in my head. I'm like, the Bengals can either go two wins this year or they can go undefeated. You know what I mean? It's like the sports are so, hit or miss on what they do that season.
They really, yeah.
So if we come in healthy and strong, I truly believe we can be the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, I think it all rides on Burrow. If that dude's healthy, we have a shot to win every single football game.
Yeah, 100%. And that's just, blinders on, goal oriented.
Yeah, definitely.
Burrow's Instagram post today. We need him back 100%. We need to start off strong. We need to have a normal training camp.
No setbacks.
Yeah, we need T. Higgins at training camp. We need,
Which
everyone
not
healthy.
Going to happen though. T won't be at training camp until probably either the end or.
I don't think. Yeah, I agree.
He's going to hold out. Do what Bates did.
Yeah, probably. But
with his agent, he's like, just not even risking injury and stuff.
My thing with T is though, that's okay. Let him get fully healthy too, though.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd rather, I think T. Higgins is good enough to where he might have a little rust, but like I'd rather him be 100% healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just throw him. A couple drives in the preseason.
So this is what they've done so far. The Bills
need to play the preseason.
They signed Mitch. They brought back Mitch Trubisky.
Especially our trenches. I feel like our trenches really need to play the preseason.
They re-signed a tight end. I don't know. Daquan Jones, who I know is pretty decent. Ty Johnson, they re-signed. Signed Matt Collins. Signed Curtis Samuel. Signed Ty Johnson and Casey Toohill. Signed Mike Edwards from the Chiefs. And then signed Will Clapp and Austin Johnson. And then they extended Deion Dawkins or whatever.
Yeah, Deion Dawkins. I don't. Not enough moves.
And then they traded Diggs for a 2024 6th-round pick, a 2025 5th-round pick, and a 20. So it wasn't even a second round this year. It was a 6th this year and a 25 second rounder and a 5th.
So I definitely would think hammer Josh Allen's over in season rushing yards.
Yeah, over on touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, and and rushing yards.
I mean, he's gonna have to be super.
Him and James Cook, and that's it. Like obviously after the draft,
I mean,
but
it's crazy to think that the Bills were 13 seconds away from probably winning the Super Bowl.
yeah. Well, people are just saying like Burrow, like tore up this roster, like making.
I would say that the Chiefs probably had a little bit more to do with it than the Bengals, but
No, I'd say who tore at this roster the most. The Bills.
The Bills themselves never.
I've never seen a more self-destructive team.
Yeah.
in the history of the league too. I mean, just in general.
I mean, you sit there, you sign Von Miller at his age to that kind of contract.
Yeah.
What are you really expecting to happen?
Dude,
cap-wise,
when they
team-wise, team building.
I was like, what are you doing? Like, that is an insane amount of money for a guy.
It would have been a good move if it wasn't that long of a contract.
It would have been a good move if it was 5 years earlier.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, he was coming off a great year, and he looked good in the Super Bowl
look
versus
at
us and stuff like that.
Yes, but look at the team around him. He had Aaron Donald on that team.
Yeah,
and Leonard Floyd on that team. Yeah. Like guys who are, he's not. That
defense was completely stacked.
He's not getting double teamed. Like when you go to the Bills and you're like the main pass rusher, you're not going to get those easy looks like you did with Aaron Donald on your line.
No, for sure.
I mean, that's just a fact. Not saying that Von is like, obviously he's a Hall of Famer, but at the end of your career, it's the end of your career. I mean, there's no, the NFL is an unforgiving league, and you're only as good as you are right now.
Yep.
So it is what it is. I mean, it sucks, for the Bills, I was kind of hoping it would work out for them too, but man, if you're a Bills fan right now, you're definitely like, what are we doing? And you're probably getting nervous.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a really deep draft. I don't know how many picks they have, but they can definitely fill holes with a lot.
If I was a Bills fan right now, I would
be seriously upset. I'd be very upset.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
I'd be calling for some jobs. What's his name? Brandon Beane.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the position to be able to draft the Jamar Chase. Well, buddy,
good luck.
You might be in that position next year.
Yeah. They're just tanking for somebody.
He says that as if Burrow wasn't out all season.
I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Especially with the type of roster you have right now, why? I mean, Stephon Diggs had to say something.
There had to have been something.
I mean, I know there was talks. Like, I heard that he told Josh Allen, Brandon Beane told Josh Allen, like, hey, there are, probably some talks going around with, Stephon Diggs, getting traded. But I never really expected it. And I know Diggs talks like his Twitter shit time to time. But
I wouldn't have guessed that if he was going to get traded, it would have been to the Texans. I would have figured they would have sent him out.
I would have shipped his ass to the Panthers.
I would have sent him to the NFC. But honestly, I wouldn't have even done it this year, knowing that I'm going to have to pay $30 million in dead cap.
That's
That's
what confuses me.
I would have said, man, look.
Unless Josh Allen is sitting there saying, get rid of this guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And it came out, and Brandon Beane came out and said that Josh Allen had no idea that trade was going to happen. So.
That's horrible.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
If he's your franchise guy and you don't even include him in that stuff.
I mean, I feel for Josh Allen. I really do, because he's super talented.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say he's just as talented as Mahomes.
Oh, yeah, and he's a physical freak.
And you refuse to build around him so he can be successful.
Yep.
It always brings me back to like when Burrow was getting drafted to Cincinnati. Everybody's like, don't go there. They're not going to do anything for you. They're not going to do this for you. Well, let's look around the league and see what other teams have kind of constructed rosters around their guy, brought in good free agents for their guy. Like, I don't know. Just
Texans are doing it perfectly right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But it makes you happy where the Bengals have done for Burrow. I mean, I know the line situation or whatever, but they have tried. I mean,
they've tried every year.
You look at every offseason, they have brought in I would say at least a tier 2 category lineman every single offseason. Lyle Collins obviously didn't work out. Orlando Brown had his struggles, but I think he's going to be just fine this year after a full year in the system.
In Orlando Brown teeters from like tier 1 to tier 2.
We brought in Ted.
Yeah,
brought in Kappa.
Trent Brown, he teeters the tier 1, tier 2, tier 1 when healthy.
Yeah, and then obviously, like you just said, Kappa and Karras, who proven vets, solid.
So they're
guys.
trying to just trying not to overspend. They're trying to get great value in guys that are like proven. I mean, they were
I think-
we talked about. Everybody on the roster line except for Volson has been a Super Bowl winner lineman. Obviously, Kappa had Brady's team, and so did Ted. But it's like they're still proven. And they brought him in for a reason and the great value.
Brought Trent in. He was part of the Super Bowl run.
Yep.
So my thing is like I feel like the Bengals hold on the draft picks too closely.
They treat them like gold, and it's like,
and we're horrible at drafting. I hate to admit, but we're horrible at drafting.
After the third round, yes.
If it's not a slam dunk pick, almost it's Logan Wilson, good pick, good third round pick,
great pick in my opinion.
Evan McPherson, great pick.
Yeah,
Evan McPherson kind of, I wouldn't say fell to us, but he's a kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Robbins, horrible. Tyler Shelvin, horrible.
Could have just got someone better.
Drafting Jackson Carmen was really
second round,
the worst you could do. Drafting a left tackle that wasn't really all that high at Clemson.
Yeah, they definitely reached for him.
Let's see.
I feel like there was somebody else that was like a major reach and he didn't do much.
Billy Price?
Billy, but they at least got BJ out of him.
Yeah, but
and traded him.
I remember when they drafted Billy Price, I was like, what?
I was like, who the heck is BJ Hill? And I'm glad he's proven his name to me because I was like, who's BJ Hill?
BJ's a dog.
Yeah, when we traded Billy Price, I was like, dude, what the hell?
Guy? Yeah. I was like, is this just like a shitty player for shitty?
Yeah,
player
that's what I was like. I was like, okay, well, this is a no impact to us.
But no,
and it was.
BJ Hill made us eat our words.
He in that playoff run, he had that tip pick.
Yeah, I'll tell you who I miss on the team is Larry Ogunjobi.
No. Is he a free agent?
That guy.
I think
No.
he's still.
He signed a couple-year deal, I think.
Yeah.
Who's he with?
Still at Pittsburgh, I think.
Oh man, that's the worst. Every time he plays us, he usually makes plays.
Like we also signed Mike Hilton, great signing.
Yeah, like
Hendrickson.
There was like the two classes, the 2 years.
Von Bell.
Like those two classes, like
but
that
one thing I will bring up now is like DJ. Did you guys see that DJ Reader's comments on K Adams show?
Yeah, he said. Didn't he say something like they didn't even really bring up talks or anything?
Yeah, no, they didn't.
It was either that or they just made a shitty first offer. Probably
he said he was in the building, but
doing his rehab
just never really engaged in conversations,
which is shocking to me.
You got to worry about your guys first, man. What guys you want to keep?
You can't. And he said, "Well, if they're going to wait this long, I might as well just test free agency."
Well, yeah, 100%. It's a business first.
100%, and he did that. And I knew as soon as he went to Detroit,
Campbell wasn't letting him leave the building.
Yeah, nope. I knew that would happen.
I think we all kind of knew that. We were like, yeah.
We tweeted it. We said if he goes to Detroit, he ain't coming back.
Yeah, once he gets on that plane, he ain't coming back.
I mean,
he said,
and he made it public. They made that flight.
He did that for a reason.
Yeah.
Like Bengals, you have a full day to get me back, and they didn't.
Yeah,
kind of forces your hand there too. Like, my question I want to see the obviously it's personal, but his medical records better be horrible because why else would you not bring him back?
I mean, but you got to think the Lions signed him for a pretty good contract too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So his medical can't be that bad.
And that just makes me mad. That one player this offseason definitely made me mad. Like,
I mean, we do have Sheldon Rankins and BJ Hill, and I feel like that's going to be good enough.
And like right when they signed him, we had Tart in town, and I was like, all right, they're just going to bring in the Tart Rankins duo, and then with BJ obviously, and still
two to replace one, with the rotation.
And Tart walked, and it's like, all right, well, what's left?
Well, as we're seeing with Mackay back then and Tart, who've left Cincinnati without a contract, we see that they don't have a market.
Yep.
At all.
Becton's going to probably end up signing a really low deal, I think.
Oh, right. I think he signs after the draft to a team that missed out on a tackle.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what he might be waiting for also.
To kind of force the team's hand, like, hey, look, you don't have a tackle right now.
Maybe like if Tennessee skips out on tackle, he can be like, hey, Titans, like, I know this is a position of need for depth, for starting.
Let me have the shot.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that might be his plan.
Yeah.
Which is a risk. You are taking a risk on yourself.
It's a big risk, but
especially money-wise, I feel like teams are more willing to spend right now than they would be.
Well, yeah, teams are kind of at their limit right now. Like, they've already brought in a bunch of guys, or they didn't have a lot of money in general.
Kind of riding it out till after the draft.
Yeah, because now the draft is free money essentially. Like, you're drafting guys to your team, you're automatically getting them.
Mhm.
So you don't really. I mean, it's obviously you're spending money, but it's nowhere near like a free agent contract. But
Because
yeah,
because when we let Tart walk, I was like, who is left in the D tackle free agency that's really worth bringing in to fill those gaps? And so it's like we're kind of relying on the draft. And if those top D tackles that they like go, we may end up reaching on somebody, which always bites us in the butt and is what makes us draft horribly.
I really think we got to go defense first round if there's no top 2 tackle there.
I'll say it for the 4th straight show. If Johnny Newton's there, take him.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if him or Murphy are there, it's almost like why wouldn't you take either one of those two?
Yeah, the defensive tackle depth's really good, as not as good as the offensive tackle depth, but there's some second round guys I'd be okay with.
Yeah, like
for
Fisk.
OT.
Oh yeah, offensive tackle for sure. Like, where do you think? I'm trying to think. Where do you see like those like big guys going? Do you think they're all going to be gone by the 15th pick? Like Fuaga, Latham, Mims.
Dude, this draft.
All,
I mean, I look at this mock draft right now that Pro Football Network had. I mean, they had Joe Alt going 7 to Tennessee. Then you have Talise Fuaga going 13th. And then Jackson Powers Johnson going 16th. And Amarius Mims going 17th. And then, you got Troy Futana available. J.C. Latham going 20th to Pittsburgh. Fashanu going 24th. Graham Barton going 25th.
Dude, that's so many offensive tackles in the first round.
Christian Haynes. I mean, these are 2 guards, but I mean, the offensive line depth. I mean, there's, Jordan Morgan going 31st and Kinsley Sumatua going 32nd. I mean, that's a lot of offensive linemen in the first round.
Yep.
In a wide receiver heavy class.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors,
Brian Thomas, Rome.
There's essentially 5 positions taken in the first round.
Yeah.
Quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, and corner.
Yeah.
Are the 5 positions taken in the first round. There's 1 safety in this mock, and that's Cooper DeJean, who's probably
baby.
He just wrote. He's the Iowa corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wrote like that he was fully healthy and he's redoing
He's doing
like
a pro day.
Yeah, another pro day, or he's doing a pro day because he
obviously you have a tight end like Brock Bowers, who's going to be the only tight end taken in the first round this year. I mean, Jatavion Sanders could sneak in late.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Just because of the way it's going to shake out.
I see Jatavion Sanders landing maybe late second
at the latest. Yeah, he's going to be a stud though.
Yeah, I would like the bank. I wouldn't be upset if we picked them up at all.
I just looked up like the newest mock drafts by one of the NFL.com guys, and they have us getting Fatanu from Washington.
Troy.
Yeah, but it has a run of tackles going. Like
he just visited with the Bengals 2 days ago.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a top 30 visit.
Yeah, top 30 visit. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because Bengals and Brew just tweeted out that the only two players that are like big known that is Mims and Murphy.
Devondre Sweat's in Cincinnati.
Oh, I gotta look him up. Wait, they tweeted. I had it.
Wouldn't you be happy that he got drafted to the Bengals, Colton?
Yeah.
You would?
Yep.
That's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, look.
How about I share our group messages?
How about we don't? Currently, 2 players that are known to have met with the Bengals at the combine. Oh,
at the combine. You can't read, dude.
Yeah, I didn't read it all, man.
You can't read.
Top 30 visits is Mims and Sweat.
Well, yeah, Sweat's in Cincinnati as of his per his Instagram story. He's in Cincinnati.
I just thought I saw someone. I want to make sure.
Can you get on Instagram on a laptop?
I'm not sure. Probably. You gotta know your login.
I don't go Instagramming all that much.
I just thought I saw someone on Sweat that maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I think
I like Sweat. You said your problem with him was his weight.
Yeah, I thought I saw something that he was way more than people thought he weighed, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just if he's already weighing in bad, it's just hard for some guys to.
I think if anything, he might be a guy who like gets kind of plays into shape or whatever. But when you watch his tape, dude,
Ooh,
he's electric.
He really is in downtown Cincinnati.
That'd be sweet.
I like Devondre Sweat. I'm a big fan of Devondre Sweat. Big boys over here.
Shut the heck
He's a
up.
dog, bro. He's incredibly athletic for how big he is.
Yeah, he's not no Tyler Shelvin. Now listen, that's going to come off bad, but we all knew Tyler Shelvin had weight issues coming into the draft, and we also knew he had problems fixing his weight in college, where he refused to go on a diet. He refused to do that in his first couple years with us.
Yeah, I think
It's a different story from where Devondre Sweat, I feel like, would.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They're totally different players too. I mean,
yeah,
Shelvin was very much a run stopper, very much a clog the middle.
Very much an LSU guy that the Bengals felt like they had to get to build as much as they could with an LSU team.
But Sweat's a guy who he's disruptive in the pass rush. He doesn't quit on plays. Like he'd be an insanely good asset for the Bengals to draft. But that's what we were just talking about. I mean, who knows how this draft's going to shake out? There's so much talent that really there's not a bad pick in round 1 as long as you don't reach too far.
Dude, he weighs 366.
Yeah,
I did not realize.
He's a big dude.
That is big. How much do you know Atkins weigh?
Like 320, I think.
Nick Martini with the.
And you just have that memorized, don't you?
What was it?
You weighed 300.
That's it.
Yeah.
But
he was 6'1", so I mean,
how tall is Sweat?
Sweat is 6'4" and a half.
Okay, so that makes sense. So
Sweat's taller.
Yeah, I mean 6'4".
Sweat's hand size is not as big as I thought it would be. 10 and an eighth. Bigger than Burrow's, but
Burrow with the small hand jokes are funny.
he had a 5'2", 40.
That's moving for
26-inch vertical jump, an 8 and 2-inch broad jump. I feel like is pretty athletic for a guy that size.
What was his score? His route score?
His production score was a 74, considering that, this is going off next gen stats. 4th for defensive tackles. Athleticism score was a 68, 14th. And then his total score is a 71, ranked 9th. It's weird how they do.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
70 is considered good. 90 to 100 is considered elite.
Yeah. That's probably right where he is. I mean, he's right on the verge of being elite, but he's definitely good. But I don't know.
I need to look up. Well, Johnny Newton didn't do the combine. Byron Murphy did.
Byron Murphy, I either want him or Newton first round. I don't know. It's hard because if one of those top tackles, like we said, is available.
Murphy is 6 foot, 297 pounds. So he fits your Geno Atkins build. 79 production score, ranked second. 85 athleticism score, ranked 4th. And he had a total score of 83, which was the first among defensive tackles. This is according to Next Gen Stats score breakdown on NFL.com. So he's close to elite.
What was Newton's?
Well, Newton didn't test at the combine, so we don't have his numbers.
True.
But he had a 9'3" broad jump. Pretty nice. 28 reps on the bench press. Which 28? What Blake Corum had?
27.
Yeah. What Chase Brown have? Didn't Chase Brown have over 30?
I'm not sure. That wouldn't surprise me. That dude's a freak athlete.
What if Bowers? You guys still in the Bowers if he's still there, or probably not?
If he's there at 18, I'm down for it. I think you take calls on trades though.
Yeah, because people were gonna want him. But I don't know. I was just thinking about that, like what people have kind of like backed off on the Bowers talk.
Oh, Chase Brown had 25 reps.
Because he either hasn't like tested well or wasn't.
I think he's still gonna go top 8. I think he's gonna be gone, but you never know until draft night.
I wish we got Newton's scores.
Yeah, just to kind of see. I mean, the draft's coming up though, man.
Yeah.
What, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 25th, I think.
We are going live for that, which I can't wait. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's 3 weeks away.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's always fun to Either be like, who?
Like, dang, they actually went with him, or holy shit, hey, you're
Like
here.
we were right, or we were.
Who
way
the
wrong.
hell is Miles Murphy?
I think he'll pan out though.
Yeah,
he looked good,
I'm
dude.
confident.
He's gonna get a lot more snaps this year.
Is Bryce Harper going to continue to get hits off of us?
Yes.
Yes.
The Reds don't have a single hit through the lineup yet.
Sweet.
No, it was an error. Bryson Stott had an error. But what do you guys think about the Rashee Rice situation?
I don't even want to talk about it. I think it
just
sucks.
I think him and Henry Ruggs are going to do great in the longest yard.
Thankfully, nobody was really too badly injured. I do respect him for owning up to it.
Yeah, after a week.
After a week.
Yeah,
It's not been a
he hit and
week.
run, but I do respect. I mean, it could
It's been about a week.
Could be
Has
a
it?
publicity stunt, but I do respect him. You know, at least owning up to what he did.
Didn't we talk about it on Easter?
It is what it is. Yeah.
It's been like 4 days, 3 days.
I don't know. I mean, it's a bad situation.
What is today, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, work gets to me.
So yeah, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. It's just a bad situation that should never happen. But
Yeah.
shouldn't be going that fast.
Yeah, they were just racing through track. Like it's like, what
Dude,
are
you got
trying
enough
to do?
money, go rent out a track and race if you want to race. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. And then they just flee the scene. It's like leaving his cleats in the back.
when your license plate's there, like there's cameras everywhere, dude. What do you?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, Bengals Twitter kind of popping off with these.
Everybody wants.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but the Bills want T. Higgins bad, man.
Brandon Bean, comment from the Bills general manager. It's a work in progress, and we're going to continue to work. I hope people know I'm competitive as hell. I'm sorry, but you can't be competitive getting rid of your wide receiver one.
They lost him and Gabe this offseason.
I kind of don't know how competitive you really are if you just continue to. And if they do win this year, it's just going to be because of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like-
Unless they have some move
Like
cooked
me
up, but
personally,
I
I would
doubt
have
it.
fired Sean McDermott by now.
Yeah, for sure. Last
Well,
season.
yeah, I would have fired him. What, last season?
What game did he blow?
I mean, which take your pick.
Yeah. And he also,
I would have fired him after the year we beat him in the playoffs. My personal
after we
opinion.
beat him.
Yeah, my personal opinion.
Who
Like
did-
they were at home, and this year they finally were at home. Freaking, like they played the Chiefs at home, which I get it's still the Chiefs, but
Fire your special teams coordinator too.
you
for
always
that.
try to blame it
that
because you
fourth
guys
down.
were the
Yeah.
road team and stuff. But you guys were home. They were what, the 2 seed?
Really, if they would have just punted it, they would have won the game instead of going for it with that fake punt.
DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah,
Out of all the players, he went with DeMar Hamlin.
Like, if you're gonna go for it, go for it. Line up your best play and go
Yeah.
for it.
put your best players out there.
Yeah, I mean, I hate doing, like, if it's especially in a close game like that. Like, teams are always gonna be like dialed up, ready for that kind of stuff. Like, why would you not just run out your best players, run out your best play call for that situation? Like, why are you risking it with a fake punt?
You call him safe.
No, I caught him out.
But
I thought he was close.
Well, who's over on third?
Martini.
You get a hit.
No, it was an error by Bryson Stott.
Oh, I thought that
And
was
then
right.
India got hit by pitch.
Oh, I love Jonathan India. I'm so glad the Reds didn't get rid of him.
Yeah, he was out. Yep, we got one more year of him after this year.
oh man,
Have you guys seen that like POV of like being an MLB ump?
yeah, it's insane.
There's no way I could be an MLB ump. Like I make fun of these guys. I'm like, dude, how the hell do you miss that call? And then I watched the POV.
I know,
I'm like,
I meant
dude,
to go back. What game was I need to go back. I meant to go back and look at the score, the ump card. But
I think it's the first.
Was it the
It
Easter
was the
game?
first game, the first Philly game.
yeah, because we were like, holy.
That
crap.
ump was pretty bad on both sides, though.
Yeah.
Wasn't just bad for us or bad for the Phillies. It was bad all around. I mean, being consistently bad is being consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really all I got. I mean,
Yeah, I
There's
mean, it's
not
pretty
much.
much all really we can talk about.
there's not much. Well, you just keep doing mocks, but at the same time, it's like
Man, it's not much.
we know what
until,
positions we need to take. It's just what guys are there.
until NFL news like kind of breaks. It's like a slow. Like we look like during the 40 minutes we've been live, we've kind of filled everybody in on what has happened this last week.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get into legal problems in the NFL, but that's just too long of a
Yeah,
story.
We did the rules last week. Like,
yeah. And then I
only
mean,
rules.
next week it'll be the mock drafts will start solidifying, like guys.
And then the
will-
week after that, then you have
More
a
mocks.
week before the draft,
More mocks.
and then that week you have the draft,
Yeah.
which is going to be fun,
Yeah,
which is what we need.
Yeah. And then after the draft, we kind of get to break down like who took who
Yep.
the Bengals have, like the way rosters are shaping up. Then, off-season camp start.
Yep. Definitely need OTA, rookie camp and OTAs and all that to start soon.
Yeah.
I need some Bengals content.
I think it was Harbaugh that said like the 1st of January isn't the NFL New Year's like this week. It was like this Monday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say when the draft starts
Like
is really when
probably
the NFL.
That's probably what he meant is like the draft month, like the month that's I guess.
I
But
think
then you got to do free agency.
free agency is just when there's not big ass names out there, and once those big ass names sign, the Reds are up 2-0.
I don't know who was up to bat. I didn't pay attention.
What's up, brother?
And he almost hit another one. Who hit that? I don't know.
You clicked off
Who
it.
is it?
Oh, it was in Garcion.
CES, yeah. About time he starts.
There
he
we
started
go,
off 0 for
boy.
12. You know what's crazy? Bryce Harper was also 0 for 12 when he hit that first at bat.
Yeah, now he has another hit. He had 3 hits last night, and he has another hit today. All right, that's going to wrap up our show with the Reds talk right there at the end. We'll see you guys next week for sure.
See you guys.